So, Bridge, France, good side to be in the final, worthy. Played some hard sides, good sides, Belgium, obviously Argentina. Came through Belgium, another good side, but just fell short.
Well, the World Cup's a campaign, you've got to be ready for at the beginning, and sometimes it slows down a wee bit, and then yourself, you played in cup competitions, and when you play this representative type football, it gets higher and higher and harder and harder. And I think tonight, what Foxy was saying is right. To me, it was very tactical. You could see what they were trying to do, but I find that quite intriguing. And I thought some of the football on display tonight was nothing short of world class, which they are playing in the semi-final of the World Cup, so you'd expect something good. But as Ox said, the young boy Mbappe and Griezmann, tremendous, absolutely tremendous. So yeah, it's been a hard road for them, but my goodness gracious, they deserve to be in the final. Deserve it.
Is he the next big thing in Mbappe?
Looks like it, I think he's only 19. He might maybe 20 very soon, but 19-year-old playing at that level takes you back to the greats of like Pele and Ings and Maradona, who were able to play at a very young age, had the skills, even Messi, but unfortunately he's never actually shown that way. But my goodness gracious, that boy's got some pace on him, just some pace, explosive stuff. Great to see.
And that pace against people that are no slouches, Bridge.
Absolutely, not a top class. That's what I'm saying. Both good, very good. Probably two of the top 6 or 8 teams in the world. Very technical, very good coaches, know what they're doing. There's nothing wrong, nothing short of miraculous what France have done, considering where they came from. But absolutely superb. These youngsters, absolutely brilliant. Love it, just love it. By the way, if England get through, and it's a big if at the moment, if they get through, that is going to be a cracking final. Absolutely cracking final.
All right. Some good players, Fox. Ability, fast defenders that can play. Is the game changing?
No, it's just that some players are a bit better than others. There is a lot of pace to the way France play on the breakaway. The one thing it's for sure is it's a red, white and blue final anyway, so I'll look forward to that, either England or Croatia. What's that, Bridge? What are you saying?
I'm just laughing when you say that. That's really good. I was saying, well said, Fox, a red, white and blue final.
Well, it's true. That's
I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it.
And I tipped France for the start of the competition. Wasn't sure they would manage to get through. They had a hard run coming through, having to meet Brazil, etc. But they've done well, mate. Well, they never knocked out... Belgium knocked out France, but... Brazil, but they put an end to Belgium there, so they deserve to be in the final. Still a young side he's got there, and they could go on to maybe win the European Championships as well.
Well, we'll see what it takes us. A good side, tactical match. Never seen the whole, missed maybe the last 15 minutes there, but up to that, I thought it was not the worst game I've seen, but some high quality players in show, Anyway, we move on.
Can I ask you a question on it, you guys?
Yes.
Roughly, how many guys are actually playing in the English Premiership that were on show tonight or have played in English Premiership?
I think there was a stat before it started that they said that 46% of the players playing in the semi-final would be for the English Premiership.
So if you take round figures, that's 50%.
Roughly 50%. What that shows, what does that do for you? If that's what they get and that's the semi-final, what does that say about this winter break, Fox?
Wow.
Because that's one of the reasons they give for it, isn't it? The winter break, so you get a break and you're refreshed for the tournaments at the back end. It doesn't add up, the stats for that, but there you go. Or is it just that they've got all the quality?
It's now 11 months out of 12 season now, isn't it? There's the short breaks that they get me. It's going to end up near or less an all year round game, innit? Do you not think so?
Well, they've got an all year round audience in television, haven't they? Because it's a big sport all over the world, so they nearly always get an audience. So yeah, you're right. You can play decent quality football all through the year. Then there's going to be people watch it. Amazing, just amazing what they're doing.
Aye, well, we move on. Obviously, we put it out there last night, Bridgeman, that the two boys had arrived and were signing. Yeah. And lo and behold, what happened today?
They're there. They're there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something on the news. Them walking up at Edmondson Drive into Ibrox. So very pleased. Very pleased. I'm so happy they're there. We've been waiting. That's probably the best part of 10 days now since it started. The long process, you know. So they're there and they're signed. Marvellous. So the manager's got a chance to bring in some youth that he wants. So that's 9 players we've signed. 9 in total so far. Is that right?
Aye.
Yeah, 9 players. 9 players.
Quite incredible. How
do we pronounce the two boys we signed today, Fox?
Well, one is Lasana Koulibaly, or Daddy Cool, as I'm going to call him.
Daddy Cool. Another one's, is it oh my God, it's Umar Sadiq. I don't know what you're going to call him, Fox.
He's known as the Flute. He's known as the Flute. That's what they call him. That's his nickname.
Right? Oh, that's a great name then. That's okay. It. Flute. Hey, Flute. So,
we'll get him on the flute. Big Ulster on the triangle and you on the trombone. We'll get a band coming here, Fox. Bridge.
Oh, that was a low blow.
Oops. I might be getting another lawyer's letter, Bridge.
I think so, pal. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
About these two boys, do you think they're going to be first team regulars straight away?
Maybe more so the centre forward, mate. You know, we're really short of forwards, and if we're going to play two up front, we haven't got a lot of options. So 6'4" centre forward. If the manager fancies him, if he's got a bit of pace about him, gives you options. Along with A and other, and who that A and other is going to be by the time we get to September, Bridge?
Yeah.
Is anyone's guess in it? You know.
I think his plan is to have the boy Sadiq and Morelos, and probably Windass behind them or something like that. You know, playing this shadow striker or something, whatever the hell they call it. Probably that's his plan, but he probably knows that maybe 2 of them will go. Maybe. But my goodness gracious, if you could put those two, put the boy Sadiq, big, tall, rangy fella, and Morelos together, and the both of them hit a bit of form, wow, just watch out. Score a lot of goals in their league, if they hit it off, hands.
I mean, it's something different, Fox. I mean, obviously we've had big centre forwards before, but not in the last couple of years, we've not had that option. But obviously it also gives you an added bonus when you're defending. If you've got somebody that's that tall, it's an asset, isn't it?
If he's good in the air, you can have tall people that aren't good in the air, mate.
That's true, aye. So,
who the two? I mean, you're saying Sadiq there will probably maybe manage to get in, but do you think he's going to push Morelos out, mate? Honestly?
Well, that's two. He's only 20, 21, 22, the Sadiq boy. Is he even less than that? Is he even less than that?
I was just looking at his
on
game
Friday
time,
night when I watched Morelos, mate, I didn't know if he looked as if he was that interested. I don't know how to take Morelos, mate.
I don't know why people say that. Why did he say he doesn't look interested? I mean, he never stops trying the game.
He never moved 10 yards in the first half, Fox. I've deliberately sat and watched him for about 20 minutes, mate, and he hardly moved.
Oh, no for me, mate. I think he's
you had the sun in your eyes at the time, you know what I mean? You were in the cheap seats next to Bridge.
Oh, I'll be glad to get back into my own seat on Thursday. If MD's gone and you're in the Copeland rear, take a hat with you for the sun.
To be fair, Bridge, it's away by September, isn't it?
Yeah. But no, he's right. It was very sunny. And of course, truth be told, like yourself, Oxchair, I was watching how players were playing, and the three that I had picked to watch from an attitudinal perspective, I picked out Windass, I picked out young McCrory, and I picked out Morelos. And I agree with you to a certain extent. He did, at times during that match, look the same attitude as he had at the end of last season. And I don't mean that to any disrespect to the guy, but that's what it looked like, you know. And it was the same with Windass. Young McCrory, well, we spoke about him a wee bit in depth last night. I thought he still needs to grow up a wee bit. He still needs to make better decisions than he's making. Otherwise, he's going
curb his enthusiasm, mate.
That's it. Make better decisions. Because sometimes the tackles, he doesn't need to make them. And when he does try to make them and doesn't get there, he's left himself and everybody else in trouble. To all intents and
It was just like Fox on Saturday. I had to say, I'm doing Fox. I've got all day. You don't need to rush it, mate. You know. You've got
some legs. I'll not be rushing about anywhere.
You never rush to the bar bridge. I know that.
Oh God, listen to him.
No, that's not true, Bridge. That's not true. That's one thing you can't say about the man. You can say a lot of other things, but not that. So
I don't think we should say any more about Fox because I think you're getting hurt. Are we hurting your feelings, Fox?
Of course,
he's got any feelings. He's not got any feelings.
I'm still mightily impressed with his hair. What did you think of his hair?
I thought it was very tidy. That was
a
word that was
tidy as well. Yeah. His brother Kellogg was there on Saturday and I asked him, what do you think of his hair? And he burst out laughing. I don't know what he meant by that.
Well, if he was there on Saturday, he never turned up on Friday night.
Friday.
No.
Friday night. My apologies.
We were the only story there to Saturday waiting on him. That's another story. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be interesting. I think the thing about the boy coming in is the midfield. I mean, what I've read, and I might be wrong, he looks as if he's as a sort of defensive midfield type. You know, so we've got McCrory, we've got potentially Rosser, we've got this boy, so maybe suggest that he might be looking to play 3 and then sort of 5 with 2 defensive midfielders in there, with 2 up front, if you get the... That is your 3-5-2, Bridge, but with 2 of them defensive cover, you know?
Well, I think that's exactly what you want, in my opinion. And your wide men, and your 2 fullbacks as we've got them now, like you can release them. They can run up and down, in my opinion. Let them go and assist up front, or as far up front as possible. I think we'll get a whole different dimension to our shall we say, choices and team. I think our manager's going to have a field day picking players out of that lot. And obviously hoping that we have, shall we say, got to that level that's required to be able to play football in our league and play it successfully. Because that's what we need to do. We need to be successful. We need to go and win games. And we need to fight for everything, including fight everybody else to get it. Simple as that.
Yep. But interesting, man. There has been a turnaround, Fox. Come on, we've got to be fair. Mark Allen, Steven Gerrard, they've not been slow off the mark, yeah?
No, they've had their targets picked out early. And they seem to have got most of the people, as far as we know, that they've wanted. I think there's still room for another couple, but whether we'll push the boat out that far, I don't know. I think until the English leagues get near to finalising their top squads, there may be a couple of nice loan players available to Rangers, and maybe we'll increase it that way.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
Whoops, I was just talking to myself there. The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, Fox?
At RangersRadio.online. They can just ring through and Skype and I'll bring them into the call.
Yep, it'd be great to hear for some new and first-time callers. It's always great to hear, eh?
I'd like to hear some new callers on how they see this season taking shape at the moment. And we'll also take questions on Facebook and in the lobby as well.
All right, mate. All right. Are you going to be studying the Facebook one?
Oh, no, we'll get that sorted out in a minute.
All right, okay. I'm taking nothing to do with that, Bridge. I'll leave that to the big technical boys, eh?
He's making the tea again.
He's on mute.
I know.
I'm on mute. I'm sorry, I was on mute. Sorry, boys.
Right. Well, we're going to tell you it's July. You do it again before August and you're after show for a week, right? On mute. All right? Is that fair, Fox?
Yep, that sounds correct to me.
Right. He does it once more in July.
He's after
a month. No, it's fair. It's fair. You're killing Foxy's paid for this airtime. You're killing it. Anyway, We've been joined by the first caller evening. It's the mega star. It's our All-Star. How are we doing, All-Star?
I'm doing very well. How are you keeping?
I'm fine.
I'm tip-top, mate. I'm
brilliant here, bud.
I'm hearing stories that you've becoming a well-known voice in a certain part of the world. Is there any truth in this?
I know, speaking of... That's just saying, I was walking around to the shop today and one of the locals, one of the guys from around the corner shouted out the window, "Is that you on that radio?" It's Ulster, but it was
fair play to you, mate.
It's good to hear these new people obviously only starting to get the show these last couple of weeks, so they all seem to be enjoying it, which is fantastic.
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant, and fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. What's on your mind, big man? Rangers-wise?
Oh, well, these two signings, believe it or not, something I never liked doing at school, but I've done a wee bit of, as much homework as I could on the two players that we've got in on loan. If you want to hear a wee bit of info on them.
All right, okay. Remember, I met your fairer. He told me you didn't do a lot of homework at all.
No, I didn't do much. I tried to find as much information as I could. Obviously, I know they're both young players, so there's not that much out there on the both of them. But I think it's Lasana Koulibaly, the one, Big Daddy Cool, as Fox wants to name him. He's obviously 22. He's Malalian. He's played in both the World Cup qualifiers for Russia and the African Cup of Nations as well, which is good.
Can I just cut across you there? Sorry for this, Ulster. Just one announcement to make. Butterbean, please, man up. Carry on.
Oh, what's he doing now?
You carry on, Ulster. Just Butterbean, man up. Carry on.
Man up, Butterbean. He's averaging about 84% on the passing, which is pretty good stats, to be honest, because it's a pretty high division, that French league. He's getting about 1.33 shots per game for the team he's with. He's strong, athletic, can pass the ball, and can also win the ball. So I think that's sort of the players that Stephen Gerrard has been looking to add to the team, people who win the ball for us. But that, as I say, there's not that much information on. But Umar Sadiq, which is a wee bit more interesting. This is the guy, obviously, we're looking for the striking position. He's Nigerian, 21. He came sort of towards the end for NAC Breda, obviously in the Dutch league. So he didn't get too many. Well, he came on his first 4 games. He came on as a substitute, but then he seems to have nailed his position after that, because he went on to end up actually getting 6 starts in the next 6 games with 5 goals and 1 assist. He's averaging about a score of just over 7.1 per game. And out of the top 4, he scored 3 goals against the top 4. Feyenoord, he scored, and it was a 2-1 win. Actually, he scored a goal in that game. He scored a goal as well against PSV and AZ Alkmaar, and he scored against other teams. But those are the 3 teams that sort of stuck out to me, because they ended up obviously in 1st, 3rd, and 4th position, and that's pretty a hard league. For him to get the goals there is absolutely fantastic, to be honest. And another wee rumour, I was looking down in the pages, he was actually rumoured for a move to Arsenal when he was 19 from Roma, and that was sort of rumoured to be between 15.7 million, which is pretty mega bucks, but that deal obviously didn't go through. But just looking through that, playing in that Dutch league, I think scoring those goals against such high class opposition, I think that's pretty promising for us.
One of my favourite centre forwards came from the Dutch league, Michael Mols. And I don't expect him to be that kind of player, but look, if we get the boy coming in at midfield, if he's anything like that boy we watched tonight, he's about 5'7", the boy Kanté. If we can play like him and make teams play, he's so effective at playing that role. He shows you don't need to be a giant to play in there.
He's a brilliant player, at Kanté, isn't he? He came from Leicester to Chelsea. What a player!
Won the league 2 years in a row with different teams. He's doing it with his national team, mate. He's got some brain, some engine.
So that's the word I was going to use. He's got some engine in him, and of course a great presence on the pitch. Knows where he is, can read a game. Fantastic, just lovely to watch. Just lovely.
It'd be good to see how it pans out with Big Umar and Big Koulibaly. Is that fair enough? Is that what we're calling him? Or Lasana?
Big Umar, Koulibaly.
Big Umar and Lasana. Does that make sense? Talking about big people. We'll be joined by the one and only Ibrox Loyal. Evening, Ibrox.
How you doing, gentlemen?
Hi, Loyal.
All right, Trips. I like that. Tall people, I like it.
You were the tallest player I've ever seen, and it's a beautiful set, mate.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. So, which do you think, lads, in the new signings? Are you happy?
Well, it's hard to judge, mate. Like a lot of the players, we've not seen them, but a centre forward and a defensive mid. The midfield, we seem to have a lot of players, but we're short and forwards, and obviously they've been after him for a while, so I think it's positive. Fox?
You've been joined by a caller there, mate, on
I'll
the phone.
take the call. All right. Evening, caller.
How you doing? It's the first
Oh, we're losing you. How you doing, mate?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you now. Yep.
Oh, sorry about that. It's just asking a question. New signings today about the Lusana. I understand he's a centre defensive midfielder. But Ken, this kind of signing confuses me, because when you hear like people like Ryan Jack and Ross McCrory, Ken, Scottish guys, should we be bringing in people, Ken?
Untried.
Yes,
I
how do you feel about that?
I get your point. I think the defensive. I think the other boy, the centre forward we signed, was short in that area. Midfielders were not really short in. But I think we've got to give the manager a head to build his own squad. Bridgeman.
Yeah, Ken.
All right.
On you go, mate. Carry on.
I think the caller's got the showing in the background.
Sorry, I'm trying to do it. There you go.
If you turn the show off, you'll be able to hear us better.
Sorry. What, Ken,
on you go, Bridge. What's your thoughts?
I think as far as the defensive midfielder, or the midfielder that we've just signed, that Koulibaly, as far as I'm concerned, he may in fact be a step up from what we've got. I know we've got a lot of players in there, but he may be a step up from some of the ones that we've got there. And the ones I'm talking about is who are in the squad and actually played the other night there. We're speaking about Hodgson, Halliday, company, that kind of company, and even the young lads that came in from a midfield perspective. I think these guys might be that bit better. I just don't know. We won't know until they start playing for us. But their record, their CVs say quite highly that they're good players, and we have to wait and see. I don't want to bring anybody down or take anyone down, but if they're any good at all and it's a step up from what we've got there, we have to play them, because we desperately need to do well this season. We need to.
We never caught the caller's name. I'll take this to Fox, but I get his point about the defensive midfielder. It's not an area of the park we're particularly short, is it? Midfield.
No, but we need to have a different look at the loan signings coming in. Some of them coming in, they'll be loan to buy. We'll have the option of taking up maybe after a year, same as we done with Murphy, mate. A year's loan, see how they work out at the club. If they're good enough, we actually go after them to sign for ourselves. We need to remember that Steven Gerrard's on a 4-year contract. There'll be some players coming in that he sees for the future. Not every loan signing or signing that comes in right now will be for this to play right away. Some of them will make it, some of them won't. And I think it's a reasonable way of doing our transfer business. We've seen how we've ended up with duds and 3 and 4 year contracts. But bringing them in, we're a wee bit smarter this time. The experienced loans that we come in, I would think would go into our first team. If, for instance, we were to get somebody for Liverpool like Solanke, he would definitely be a first team starter. But the likes of Sadiq and that, I think, will need to earn their stripes, him and Koulibaly, mate.
All right, only time will tell, mate. Only time will tell. If they shine, they get in the team and they do the business.
Yeah, can I come in on that, Ox? Yeah.
On you go, mate, before we go back to Ibrox.
I'm led to believe that, in fact, the boys Koulibaly is, in fact, one of these we've got an option to buy after a season. That's what I'm led to believe. Don't know how true it is. Maybe Loyal can tell us, but that's what I'm led to believe.
I've not seen or any of that reported, mate. I haven't seen it anywhere. Ibrox.
I'm absolutely delighted that the two of them have come in, mate. As Ulster says, Ulster's had quite a good bit of work on the two of them. And with the boy, Koulibaly, mate, he's a Malian international. He's played international games for his country, African Cup of Nations, and I think a couple of World Cup qualifiers. So I think he is a recognised central defensive midfielder, or holding midfielder, as some of them like to be called. But to me, mate, he's solid. He's athletic. He could honourably self in French League One, which is one of the better leagues out there, if we're being 100% honest with ourselves. The boy, Sadiq, obviously went on their own to Knack Breda last season, did well in the Dutch League, has played a couple of games for AS Roma as well, and he was well quoted as well. I'd go down to Arsenal a few seasons back for like 15 million or something, so he's no dad either. And as Fox just says here, we've got to bring players now and on loan to have a look at them, because we're not wanting failures coming in 3 or 4 year contracts. Fox is absolutely right. We're doing it the right way this time, and I think it's only a sensible way to use the transfer market at this moment in time. So, they've got to earn their stripes, as Bridge and yourself says there, Ox, and I can't wait to see them. They'll get some game times. I think we may have a few bounce matches.
All right,
maybe
mate.
get their
All
chance
right.
in, so.
The only big thing for me is that I see where Fox is coming from. If they're better quality in what they've got, they're going to be playing big Ulster.
Well, this is it, though. We all agree that like some McCrory and stuff are good players, but these could be a step up. But we don't know. We'll have to watch them. But I think it's a good point of getting these players on loan, because if they are enjoying the club and it's a place they want to stay, which is, we hope, obviously that's what happens, then basically you're saying to them, right, well, give us a good season. Play well this season for us, and there's a contract for you in the end. Whether the way we've went about it under Warburton and etc., would give people long contracts, and even when they're playing average, the prop for us is trying to move these players on, which we're still in the predicament at the minute. So we have to loan players out again. Whether in this position, these guys know they have to get a good season if they want to be good enough to sign for the club, and that could be good for us. I think that's probably the way we have to go forward now. Especially given that the money gap we have, with the other leagues around the world. I think it's a good way to do our business.
Can I thank the caller? I never got his name, but thanks for the call, and a good point there, Fox. Huh?
It was indeed. I said the other week, last week I think it was, we were talking about that we've got to allow our own youngsters a bit of time to progress as well. So we have got the option of dropping some of these boys into the kind of reserve league that we've got, along with young players, to get them into the swing of playing at Rangers. I don't see any of the two of them debuting, honestly, unless there's something special to league games later on. I don't see them really appearing in these Europa League games. Too much at stake for us.
This week?
No, I'm talking about in any of them up until the league starts.
I don't see them playing in the next week, if I'm being honest. They might, maybe the centre forward might make the bench, only because that's where they're a bit short up front. Bridgman.
But I have to say, I agree with you, because you're urging a bit of caution. But I agree with you, but really and truly, I would not be surprised in the least if they were on the bench on Thursday night. It just depends how well they fit in and how fit they are. If they shine at training tomorrow, just for saying, I don't even know if they'll be at training, truth be told. But if they shine between now and Thursday, then the manager would be well within his rights in bringing them on, and not bring them on to the start, but bring them on during the game if need be. But give them the experience, being there at a big crowd, full house, and so on and so forth.
I think there's more chance that they might even get welcomed to the crowd at half time than be on the bench.
Well,
the centre might be on the bench. He might be on the bench.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but if they do well, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, I'm not being funny. At the same time, I agree with you. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the team, or they shouldn't be anywhere near the team in my mind, because I don't believe they could be as fit as required. But we never know.
We had a young striker of our own, Zach Rudden, who scored a goal within 3 or 4 minutes of coming on the park. I mean, if we took him over to Spain, he's getting treated like a first-team player now. I'd rather see him getting a run and let Sadiq and that settle in. No a run in the first team, but a run on the bench rather than papping our kids back down to just have a look at other players. Let my own talent come through as well.
Well, that's what we're saying, Fox. It just depends what they look like. I mean, the manager might see them over the next couple of days, and they might be stars. You know what I mean? And if they're really, really good, he's not going to leave them off. I can see him playing them or putting them in the bench or something. They've got to. If he thinks they're really, really good and they turn out to be really, really good, they've got to play. They do have to play, you know. If they've got the qualities, that is, of course.
That'd be interesting, but the numbers are getting still maybe a bit short, and centre backs and maybe even forwards. Ibrox.
Definitely so, mate, and I'll totally agree with what Bridges just says, and especially with the boy Sadiq, mate. We've only got Zach Rudden as only other recognised striker at the club. I know he is there, but he's done. He's not going to be. He shouldn't be anywhere near our team now. He had a chance to go back to Mexico and refused it. So I don't see him being anywhere near the bench on Thursday night. So you could maybe say the boy Sadiq and the boy Zach Rudden, the two strikers being on the bench come Thursday night. Because we are short, I still say, one more defender at least, and at least another striker, if not two. Because that is a position that you can't just have one striker who, let's be honest, I looked at him a bit on Friday night as well, and you know I'm a huge fan of the boy El Buffalo, but it doesn't look interested for me. I thought it was just because he was running out of steam because he'd played like 2 full seasons in a row, but it just looks disinterested, mate, and we can't just go with him. We need another couple of strikers and run about and pushing him for his jersey. So,
can I ask you guys, did any of you see the report that says that Sadiq was called by Steven Gerrard, and he says when he calls you can't say no. It was
well, why don't we hear from the man himself then?
Oh, excellent.
See what he's got to say on it, yeah? You all right to find that mute button, Bridge? Let's hear from Sadiq.
The plan was to stay in Roma this season, but when Steven Gerrard called, you can say no. He just told me the way they have interest in me, and he told me about the team, even though I know about Rangers is a most successful team in the world. And then he told me about the team, about the players, like everyone will be at my side. If I come here, they will help me, and he will help me to go forward in my career. And you don't have to think twice when someone says that to you.
Short and sweet.
There you go, Bridgeman. Steven Gerrard phoned him and sold the club to him, and he came in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that's wonderful when you see people writing that and you see it doing in writing, and you hear them saying it. I think it's fantastic, you know. He's probably dumbstruck. Who? Steven Gerrard. You're trying to talk to me. You know? Amazing. Just amazing.
Anyway, if people want to join us, Ibrox, what's the number?
It's 0141 356 1972.
What else can you join us, Ulster?
RangersRadio.online.
All right. And you can come in and talk about anything Rangers related. So, we'll see how it pans out for the boys. It'll be interesting. Is the squad getting stronger for you, Fox? Ibrox?
It's getting stronger, mate. But again, the two main positions for me, as I said before we went to that interview there, is defence and striker, mate. As I said last night, we're covered very, very well in midfield, especially with the boy Lasana coming in this afternoon. So it's only the two positions that's got to be really looked at. And there's other positions as well that you could maybe see that maybe another. Well, you don't even need any more fullbacks coming in because the boy Flanagan covers both flanks, so it's rather well played, and we're no short in the left or right wings as well because we'll get players who can come in there, and we've got some young promising players as well that, given a chance throughout the season, could come in and do well. So it is getting stronger, mate, but we could do with a wee bit of toughen up at the back and up front as well, mate. So
who we brought in midfield? Is Arfield?
There's Arfield, the boy Lasana.
No, not. Don't talk about the new guys now. We brought in Arfield in midfield. Excuse the pun there.
And the boy we loaned for Liverpool as well, yeah.
The young lad for Liverpool, which we haven't even looked at. Is that who you were meaning?
Aye.
Roy, I do apologise. No. We haven't even seen him yet. I don't even think he's a Rangers.
And then if we really think about it, we'll get Graham Dorrans, who's hardly been fit.
Yeah,
Ryan Jack coming back for injury, and Rossiter coming back for injury.
Well, Rossiter, I don't think you're going to see for probably a month, I would imagine. Dorrans, probably more than that, longer. Ryan Jack, very pleased. You know how I feel about Ryan Jack? I'm very pleased because I think he's one of the players that could make it and make the next move up the way, a good step up. But I've got my doubts about some of our Rangers players being able to do the next step up. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I know we said this last year, we had some good players in our squad, and we do. I don't know whether our manager's finished bringing in midfield players, and we've brought another one in today who's supposed to be quite good in midfield. So we need to.
I don't think there'll be any room with sentiment with Stevie G. I really don't, mate.
Yeah,
I think he's a driven individual, and he's got a name, Ulster, and the squad will keep evolving as long as it's in a positive way. People will come and people will go.
Do you guys see Arfield as being
Ulster?
Oh, sorry.
You're bridge man. We'll come right back to you. He's a mega star now, Bridge. He's been giving autographs today, Bridge. We have no
autographs. Oh man, no, I think you're right there. You know, Stephen Gerrard's he's not coming up here to make a fool out of himself. You know what I mean? So as you said, the heartstrings will not be pulling him. You know, and keeping these players. They're all fresh to him in the squad. He'll be picking the players that he thinks can do a job and can do as good as possible, as win as many games as possible for us. So I think as your question is about the squad, is it getting stronger? Yes, definitely. I think if you look at Kadich, you look at Goldson, you look at legs of Archfield, you know what I mean? Big signings for us. We've invested a lot of money, especially on the two centre backs. There's talk of maybe another one coming. We'll wait and see on that. But it's big money for us being spent. The squad's definitely getting stronger for me. The only thing I know we were just saying about the two players and will they feature in the European game on Thursday. I can't see it, but I think that the perfect scenario for me would hopefully be us finishing that game at Ibrox with a good high score, hopefully finishing the tie in the first round, the first leg, and hopefully maybe in the second leg away from home, you maybe see those players maybe featuring maybe the last 30 minutes. So that would be the perfect scenario for to get those two players up and running.
Can you come, Bridge?
I was just going to say, if you think about it, the strongest person we brought in, and so as far as midfield is concerned, is a boy Arfield, and he looked at the bee's knees the other night there. We spoke about McCrory. If we're going to depend on McCrory, I think he'll need another top, good quality defensive midfielder alongside him, which we spoke about a wee bit earlier. I think we need two. I don't know if we've got two. Maybe this young lad coming in might be the answer. But from a squad perspective, if we get a wee nip, if he gets a wee nip on his ankle or something like that, I'm talking McCrory, he ain't got anybody else that's going to be able to do that job other than youngsters coming through. Because I know we've got a lot of midfielders, you know, but I don't know we've got the correct blend of midfielders. I think that's the word I'm looking for. We don't appear to have the correct blend of midfielders. No doubt we'll have guys that will be able to cover the pitch and do the dirty and all the rest of it and get tore in. But to be the way we would like it to be, having that young lad to do all what most of the covering up anyway, getting the tackles in and so on and so forth. I don't know if we've got enough cover, and I don't know if one's enough. But if we're going to go 3-5-2, we're needing somebody else in beside him, that's for sure.
I'd be interested to see how it pans out. I don't think we'll have a set system the way we've known the Stevie Gerrard's philosophy, mate. I think it'll not be as plan A and then they plan A better. I think there'll be a tactical side of the game because of the awareness of the game between him and Gary McAllister and his whole staff, mate. I don't think we'll be that naive. Fox?
Oh, I think we've got a good blend of experience and youth, especially in the midfield. When you think that Arfield, I think he's about 29. You've got Dorrans at 31. Who else is there? There's another old Jack who's about 25, 26. But underneath them, they're understudies. You've got a Jarrier at 20-year-old, young Greg Docherty at 21, Rossiter at 21. So and even the boy Kubali has came in at 22. So we've got experienced pros for the midfield. And we've also got good young legs there as well. I think that's a good blend in the midfield.
Fair play. Ibrox?
I don't totally agree with what he says, but I agree with Bridge to a certain extent as well. Have we got the right sort of mixture in there, like central defensive mids, attacking mids, people who can, like, as you say, like, your canties as well, as I like to call them, water carriers as well. You need them who can break up the games and carry you forward a certain amount of yardage throughout a match when you really need it, when you're trying to see a match at some point. If we got the players in the midfield who can close games out, I think possibly yes, especially what Fox was saying as well. We've got the experience as well as the youths as well, who have got the youthful enthusiasm as well as the older heads in the midfield to direct the youngsters when and if needed as well. So,
yep, fair enough. Bridgeman, if people want to join us, give their thoughts on the two new signings. What's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us on Skype at RangersRadio.online. We've brought into the call by the one and only Fox. And what can you talk about, Ulster?
Everything Glasgow Rangers related.
Or just anything, really.
Speciality musical instruments.
Musical instruments.
No, Prince, you're getting me into trouble.
I agree with your point there about Steven Gerrard not sticking to one game plan. I'd say, since I've obviously bought into the Rangers TV now, so I get to listen to the reviews in full, and that's a point that he made himself just before the Bury game. That's something he'll be doing. When he asked him if he got a certain formation, and he says no. There'll be different formations, different games for different games, different opponents. We'll be changing it up as the season goes, and I think that's something our team's been lacking. I think our team's been in a mindset where if something hasn't been going right, plan A, there is no really plan B, and I think that's why he's probably bolstering his midfield the way he is. So there'll be different players for different games to do different things on the pitch, and especially with the pressing game that Steven Gerrard's looking to do, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a grueling season for them, so it's good to have these different, these numbers of players to sort of carry the can as the season goes on, as some players maybe get wee knocks and wee injuries.
Yeah, fair comment, mate. I think it's good to have competition for places as well, Bridget.
Absolutely, it's the freshness, as they say, it comes through the squad. Great competition if you can get it, and you're always going to have people who are ready to go and come in, desperate for a game. And once they get in, unfortunately, if you've got an injury, you can't get back in again. But once they get in, they should be fighting tooth and nail just to hang on to their position, and that's what brings it. It brings great competition, brings great demands on each player. It's marvellous to watch.
Fox, you there?
Yes, I am.
Could there be as much as maybe, obviously it looks as if it's just waiting for it to be confirmed officially that Bruno Alves is gone, but it looks as if it's just a matter of time before it's officially stamped. The press are saying he's off, and obviously rumoured to be between anything between £20,000 and £28,000 at our club. So hopefully, from my point of view, it's just a shake hands. He signed his new contract and he's left the club, and he's off the books, and that's it, done and dusted. How many more potential ins and outs can you see before the transfer window ends?
I think we've still got a few yet to go. Well, if you talk about like Herrera, we'll try and push him out. Harry Forrester will need to go. Who else have we got there? Hodgson, who's no come up to anything like the promise he showed very start. I thought he was going to settle into being a bad wee fullback, but as we found out in the Premier League last season, mate, he's just no up to it. Possibly Andy Halliday, I don't know about Andy Halliday. He seems to getting a wee bit of game time just now, so I would prefer it if, because of the class that we've got in midfield now, I think Andy could move on. We've still got the situations with the goalkeepers, whether Fotheringham is going or not, we don't know for certain. I thought it was a sure sign on Friday night when he didn't even get any minutes on the part that I was thinking he'd be away by now, but obviously he isn't yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. But there is a few bodies that we need to push out.
Cardozo,
forgot about him.
There are quite a few. There's probably
Lee Wallace could be another.
Oh, don't say that. You'll ruin Travel Rug's holiday.
Well, actually, there's a story broke tonight. I think there's something Rangers media, Apollo. Lee Wallace is not going to Europe. He's not in the squad for a European game.
He's not fit, mate. He's not fit. He's not going to be registered. No fit.
I'm just saying to you, there's a story breaking. He hasn't made the European game for Thursday, or a squad for Thursday, and they think he'll never play again for Rangers. That's the story. I don't know. It's other than that.
I think the story that he'll not make the European squad is an A story, but I think the story that he might never play for Rangers maybe was ominous since that day at Hampden, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Can I disagree with that?
There's a lot of decent wages potentially going out the door. Is that what Mr. Gerrard's got to wait on, Ibrox, before he brings in some more players?
I would like to think that there's still about half a dozen players at least still to go out, and you say that does release quite a lot of wages, considering like Lee Wallace, Cardozo, Hiera. They must be on a good tank of wages between the three of them, and then you've got the likes of Andy Halliday, and that as well, that I would like to see go out the door, because thanks very much for his time and everything he's did for the club. We know what his allegiances and everything else, but it's just maybe this time in his career that he has to move on, because I'm sorry, he just isn't going to get much first-time football in your squad because of the depth that we seem to have in our midfield at this moment in time. So.
Are we going to have to accept, Fox, that we might have to loan some of these guys out and maybe pick up 50% of their wages?
Well, there is a possibility of that. We need to see the first maybe few games in the Europa League who's pushing for a place and who's not getting in, or even on the bench. And if there's players like young Greg Docherty or somebody similar, if he's not going to feature in the first team, put him out on loan to Christmas, keep the boy playing for me. I think there's a bit of growing in Greg Docherty come yet. I think he could still come good for us.
Oh, the jury's still out, mate. We need to be just bide our time. He's only been there a few weeks, really, as a young man, isn't he?
Aye.
You know, Bridgeman, any thoughts?
Well, I said the other night there that I hope that young Docherty makes it. Once he came in, I thought he played quite well for a few games, and then I don't know what happened to him. He seemed to maybe picked up a wee injury. And when you do pick up an injury or a wee drop in form and you don't get back in, it's tough to get in there and as I say, retain your spot. Really, really tough. So let's hope he knocks it off. My fear is, much like you said yourself, you're saying, if, you know, is he the right? Is he going to make the next step up for what Rangers need? I hope so, but I have my doubts. I personally have my doubts.
If people young men like him, if they want to make the grade, sometimes maybe going to have to look to maybe change their position, Fox. I'll take this to Fox and then Bridge, because they'll realise what I'm coming for. When you think of guys like Sandy Jardine, centre forward, he ended up Colin Steen, Fox, left back.
Oh, aye, that happens all the time. As we've had a discussion about Ross McCrory, I mean, when I was talking to the scout in Northern Ireland, who says that he'd make a terrific right back. I don't see it, but that's what happens in football. And some of the players may shift what their known position is into another part of the park if they look as though they could fulfill the role better than those who already have it, you know. And Greg Docherty might come into that sort of situation as well.
Well, I think the last one you saw that changed his position was Parpatch, who was brought up as, shall we say, a left-sided centre-back. And he moved out to left-back and was a marvellous success. Marvellous success.
First comment, great example, Ibrox loyal.
It's hard for me, mate, is how somebody like Greg Docherty could possibly change his position, mate. I think he's done it a few different roles in the central midfield for Hamilton, because I think he started off as merely like a central defensive midfielder and then was pushed forward into like a just in front of that where he could break up play in the midfield as well as pass the balls on to like attackers and get into the attacking side of the game. He did score a few goals for Hamilton, things like that. But the difference with the likes of McCrory is, mate, I know Ox, I think me and you have agreed a couple of times last season that we don't see him at the early part of his Rangers career as ever been a centre-back. He's always going to fit that central defensive midfield role. Or as Fox says there when he was talking about the coach for Northern Ireland saying that it would make... I think I could see that. McCrory be able to do that role as well, just because of the engine he's got on him. He knows how and when to tackle. He's got a good solid tackle, and he knows how to conduct himself in a defensive role as well. But I just kind of see it for the likes of young Docherty, how somebody like him can change his position. I don't know where else in the park you could fit somebody like a Greg Docherty.
Greg Docherty could learn the role, say, a wing back, mate. He's got an engine, he's got physique, he can develop his game. I'm not saying he's going to go up and play centre forward, mate.
Oh, no, I understand that, mate. Aye.
We actually had an example of that on Friday night when Candias lined up on the right-hand side of the midfield. So Gerard's quite willing to try and fit people in to see how they play in different roles. That's the only position I see out of the starting line-up for Friday that maybe changes Candias coming out. I don't know if he would risk Ryan Jack in there, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
I thought Candias looked a wee bit fish out of water personally, but that's on a personal view.
Your role.
Aye, well, good players can. You wouldn't know it, Fox, but good players can play anyway. On you go, All-Star.
No, I think you're right, especially with the experience of Stephen Gerrard, Gary McAllister, and obviously the rest of the team. You know, being with these players and watching them, it could be possible. You know, they could see different qualities in each player and maybe try and adjust them in different positions. That could be a thing to do, especially with there's going to be so many players, obviously now, especially in the midfield. They might be asked to do different roles as the season goes on. You know, I don't know. Docherty, for me, I still think Docherty's can be a good player for us. I know he came into a side there sort of towards the end of the season, which obviously wasn't the greatest Rangers side for us. And he was asked to play a lot of the centre defence mid as well. He was sort of helping out there as well. Obviously, McCrory had got injured, so I think he's more of an attacking player. That's where he was for Hamilton. I think that's where his best attributes are, to be honest, is an attacking sense. But as you say, he's got the engine. You could maybe see him doing out in the right. You know, that could happen as well, but it'll be interesting to see. But if the players have got the qualities to be fitted in new positions, I've no doubt Stephen Gerrard will be able to sense that, and we might see that as the season progresses.
Anyway, just changing the total subject back to what about the young boys, the last of them and their coach coming out the cave today, Bridgeman. Sometimes decent stories have not always bad endings, but at least this one was a happy ending for the young lads. How they were doing there is beyond belief, but they all came out safe, mate.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's miraculous. Truth be told, they've done that cave in, what is it, a week or something like that? They've never been found and sat there or lived in that cave for 5 or 6 days before they were even found, and then another week on top of that. Well done to the rescuers, and well done to everybody involved. Absolutely fantastic. What a great story. I hope they're well. I hope they
Yeah,
get. I hope
yeah,
they
they're
recover.
Yep, Brave Bennett went and got him. Fox, brilliant, huh?
That's good news. I don't follow the main news. I just follow football, mate. I couldn't tell you anything about it. By the way, STV is put in by Young JC. I've just
Aye, but
confirmed Alves is away,
I've
mate.
seen that.
You know.
It's in the Scottish media as well. Hopefully, if it is £28,000 a week after wage bill, more the
Can
better.
we get any money for him?
No, I just think it'll be a partner of ways. I think I would take that, Fox. Ibrox, great story for Thailand today.
Aye, absolutely fantastic, mate. It's always good in the world we live in nowadays to actually get some positive news in the world stage. And as exactly what Bridge says, mate, fair play to the rescuers, mate, because they've did a sterling job. So hope everybody, all the youngsters and obviously the rescuers as well, are safe and healthy and that as well now. So, and everything's sorted now. So brilliant news, mate.
What were you coming in with there, Fox?
I was just going to ask you, where was this and where did it happen?
Thailand.
Was it the Thai Tims?
No.
Oh, right, okay, just in case.
No, Fox. Great story, Ulster, huh?
Unbelievable, Fox.
Yes.
What do you like?
To be honest, it's a wee bit like, you know what I mean, just having my own 3 little daughters, I wouldn't even know what those parents were thinking, you know, as that was happening. It's fantastic news for the parents and for everybody involved to get them all out. And obviously, thoughts with the poor fellow who passed away as he was trying to help. You know, he got the oxygen to the young fellas, and unfortunately didn't come back again. So my thoughts are with that fella's family.
Yeah. Anyway, lads, if you don't go on a mute bridge, that's a big button, yeah. You got it?
Yeah, got it, pal.
Yeah, we're going to get you an inky so you can draw on it, so you know what one. Right, if you don't mind going to mute, Fox will give us a tune.
Nice one, Fox.
Thanks for that, Fox. I just got the Ori flutes stop ringing in my ears.
Brilliant, mate. Love it.
Well, back with us, yeah?
Yep. Indeed.
Been rumoured to be linked with a $3 million bid for, is it Jack Cooper?
Jake Cooper, mate.
Yeah. Jake Cooper, yeah. Jake Cooper for Millwall that we spoke about last week. £3 million bid.
Yeah, mate.
Fox, and then I'll come back to Ibrox, yeah. Try up the quality again for you, mate. Potential, everything's there. Big, strong, fast.
We need some strength and depth, and according to what I've read about that, the young boy Jake Cooper, he's an up-and-coming young centre half, so I'd be pleased to see him at Ibrox. £3 million, quite a lot of money. I think we've paid out about best part of £78 million here in inward defence, and that's not including the free of Alan McGregor. So we're doing well in that department, which we were really short in last year, and I think it was the defence last year that let the team down. We scored enough goals but couldn't keep them out.
Ibrox, when you come, mate?
He's another reliable centre half, mate. As you say, he's got plenty of pace. English youth biz and English youth international as well. He played a number of games for the England under-20s. Last season, mate, he played 38 games for Millwall, 4 goals, 3 assists. When Millwall were trying to do what they were doing last season, mate, and he's well quoted down south, mate. A couple of the teams in the lower reaches, round about the top of the championship, both me the Premiership teams were sniffing about him as well, mate. So I think £3 million would be a bit of a steal for us, and it could be the third part of that 3 that we've been asking for. If we're going to ever play 3 at the back, you would see it being Katic, Goldson and him. So.
Well, the trouble is that if you have 3 and you play them like that, you're then become short of cover, mate. But only time will tell, because if 2 of them get injured, you need to find a lot of cover. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what pans out. Look, I think it's great. Bridgman was starting to get linked with people that appear to be decent players. Is this a Stevie Gerrard factor, mate?
Oh yeah, most assuredly. People are pricking their ears up. Clubs as well are pricking their ears up when Steven Gerrard and the Rangers director of football team, they start to show an interest in. They see something happen. Now, look, when a club like Rangers comes down, they're always trying to up the price and things like that. So I'm not saying there's anything nasty or bad in it, but I don't know whether this club is going to. I don't know what they're in. Leeds, are they in League 2?
Bridge, can I just cut across you? Old school blue. She's a double of her sister. Carry on, Bridge.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know. Are Leeds in League 1?
It was Millwall, mate.
Millwall, sorry, apologies.
Yeah, they were in the Championship last season, mate, I believe.
They're in the League 1 now?
Let me double check that for you.
Okay. So all I'm saying is that when clubs hear Rangers are on the road, they're looking for a hefty price. So $3 million may not be enough. That's what I mean. But if we get them for $3 million, I agree with. By the sound of it, anyway, I agree with Loyal. If we get them for £3 million, that'd be fantastic. But get a bad business. What a bad business. 6 feet 5 apparently.
Millwall are still in the Championship, mate.
Oh my goodness! And £3 million is a tremendous deal for us if we can get him. Tremendous deal at that price. Has he just got a year left in his contract or something like that?
I can't tell you that, mate.
That's always a gamble for every club now, mate. I mean, if he's got a year left in his contract, mate, the 1st of January he can sign for somebody for nothing. Every club's in the same boat,
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
What any thoughts on it, Big Ulster?
Yeah, well, that sort of comes on to Stuart Hudson's question. He's put in, he thinks another strong defender is probably needed. I'd agree with that. I think if we can get this guy in from Millwall, it'd be another good coup for us. Millwall they don't want the guy to go, to be honest. They're trying to hang on to him. But that's good news for us, obviously, because he's obviously a good player for them if they're wanting to keep him. But I think, obviously, it's all the whole Steven Gerrard factor again, and obviously the size of the club. Once, the news sort of comes into the players that the size of club of Rangers managed by Steven Gerrard is wanting them, then maybe the player himself is sort of is looking for that move, where he's trying his best to get that move done behind the scenes. I think that'd be good for us. I think we need another defender, especially if we are going to put this three at the back, or maybe use that at certain times in the season. It'll be good to have 3 proper centre backs there, in my opinion. And if this guy comes in, I'll be very excited, definitely, for the season ahead.
I think we've upped the quality there. I think we could do maybe even look at our fullback, because potentially Wallace and Hodgson could get the door. But look, the squad's got to be it's got to be lean and keen as well, Fox.
Has me. I'm beginning to wonder about the left-hand side of the park. As you rightfully brought up, we've got 2 right footers holding the wide berths in my side just now, Flanagan and Murphy up front. I would like to see us bring in cover for the left back as well, maybe somebody that's good in the air. I could see us in the future having something like McCrory being over 6 feet odds at the right back, and if we had somebody similar on the left-hand side, that seems to be the way in football, that your back 4 are really tall. And that's what I would like to see coming in anyway. If that made any sense. It didn't to me.
It makes wonderful sense to me, Fox, because I've said for quite a wee while now, as far as I'm concerned, Rangers shouldn't be looking at any players, if they're going to buy players, any players under 6 feet. They need to be a really, really high-quality players for Rangers to buy them. Otherwise, you need to go for big, strong fellas.
But it's very important they can play, mate.
Sorry?
They've got to be able to play.
I've said that. I've just said that.
But they've also got to be able to defend. And,
they've got to be good players. I'm not saying that. Look, all I'm saying is if you've got players a lot of players to choose from, go for the bigger ones. Unless the small ones are absolutely brilliant, outstanding. But in general, I think we should be looking for taller players and far more robust as well, because they need to fight back. Because we're getting every position is under fire, isn't it? When teams come to Ibrox, they want to kick lumps at us, That's the way I feel anyway.
It's just that set plays play such a big part in the game now, and for the last couple of seasons we had a very small in size squad. If we remember back, we never possessed any sort of threat for a corner or free kick in the air, and we struggled sometimes to defend them. So a back 4 of people of decent stature, mate, would help us a lot in Scottish football, I think.
But Ibrox size isn't everything, is it?
Can I come in on that one?
Was that some sort of hit there? That was some sort of hit there. That was some sort of dig.
It's a valid question.
Valid question.
Ability know the thing.
That is, mate, they've got to have the ability. I think we says with the likes of Katic, everybody thought because he was 6'4", I think he's a lot taller than that, if I'm being honest. I think that's been a bit conservative with his height, but he's got the pace and he knows how to defend as well. You know what I mean? He's good on the ground as well. The same Goldson, 6'3", knows how to defend. Didn't look like it was lacking for pace for me. This boy, Jake Cooper, should have come in. Tavernier, we know he's got pace. He was getting right back into defending his position, especially on Friday night. And I think that's what Mr. Gerrard and Mr. McAllister and the coaches and that were looking for there in Spain as well. The first thing, you defend, you play your roles. Then, if you've got the time to attack, and it is right to do so, then you attack.
Aye. I get Bridges' point about physicality. I like some of that. I like the boys that were brought in at centre backs and first impressions, but we'll see how it takes us. They're big, they're strong. We may have a big centre forward.
Oh, so can I just say? I was mightily impressed with the boy Flanagan. I thought he played very, very well the other night. Handled us well.
Was he 5'5"?
I'm saying that. Well, I don't know what height he is, but he's not the biggest or tallest. But he certainly looked after himself and has not made himself well aware.
But he's athletic, mate. That
was a really good player. He can play football and he's strong. And okay, if you can get players like that, then that's what I'm meaning. You go for them. But other than that, for me, I'd be always looking for somebody 6 feet upward nowadays. Most assuredly.
Big Ulster, you put a question, you PM me, honestly, if there's a shortage, there's a shortage of that stuff, my mum's house is full of it.
There you go, Colin Burke. If you want any Iron Brew, go to Axis Mums.
Absolutely full of it.
There's a lot of people asking questions about the Mike Astley thing, but I know. But as I said, anyone who's listening who's asked that question, it's not that we're ignoring you on that. It's because we talked about it last night, and obviously we're waiting on the
result tomorrow. Yeah,
so we'll talk about that tomorrow night show if you're tuning in. Just another question, sort of more than a few have put it in, is just there's still a lot of the boys who are still looking for that one marquee signing, and just want to see if are we waiting that as a panel? Is that something we'd agree on, or would we like to see?
I think if we get the boys Cooper at £3 million for Scottish football, that's a big signing. Fox, then Bridge.
I think when most people talk about a big signing, mate, it's usually up front. Somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net. I'm just wondering if the people mean that. I think if we can manage to...
and Pappy might be looking for some first team experience. Would you take him?
No, he's too wee, according to Bridge.
He's no over 6 foot. Is he 5'11" and a half?
But I think a big marquee signing would be something like a loan of Sir Solanke, mate. Somebody that knows how to find the back of the net. That's the way I would be looking. And there's a good possibility that can still happen.
You mean box office, no necessarily amount, or for different? You're talking about your flair players, huh?
Well, I'm thinking that most people call him a real marquee signing is somebody that sticks the ball in the back of the net. So we've done reasonably well in the other parts of the park, in the midfield and defence and in the goalkeeper, but I think everybody would like to see somebody that would put the ball in the back of the net.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ulster. You'll understand where I'm coming from. The easiest thing in football is to keep it out. The hardest thing is to score goals. That's what good players do, but they wouldn't know that, they three. It'd be interesting to see who comes in, because I still think, Bridge, there could be some shots going out the door. It could be Morales, it could be Windass, it could be Candias. You just don't know.
Yeah, I have to say, nothing would surprise me based on what we've seen up to now. I look at my team and I tonight and I thought, what a big improvement on the way they're playing, which was tremendous to watch. Really good. We're heading towards a big, strong team, which is what I'm looking for, and a no-nonsense type team, which is what I'm looking for. So I don't want anybody sitting in our midfield who isn't interested in playing football or getting stuck in. I don't mind getting beat. If your team's trying, and particularly midfield, that's the engine in it. And you know what you midfielders are like, having been a midfielder yourself. Sometimes you're there and sometimes you're no. Simple as that.
We've been joined by Rudy.
Rudy.
Evening. How we doing?
Rudy boy.
How we doing, Rudy? What's on your mind, mate?
Just these two new signings.
No, we've talked about that. Anything else?
Oh, have you? No. Well,
all right, thanks for the call, Rudy.
Nice speaking to you.
What's your thoughts, mate? What's your thoughts? Defensive mid, centre forward, what are you thinking?
I think we could probably be doing with another centre forward as well, to be honest with you. I'd like to see at least another one come in before the signing window finishes.
This one's 6'4" and Bridge says he's no big enough.
He looks pretty good, actually. The boy looks like he's got a bit of pace, and for a big guy, he's got good feet, for what I've saw. But then, it's YouTube for you, isn't it? The boy Koulibaly, don't know so much about him, but if Steven Gerrard's bringing him in, he must rate him. Must think he's worthwhile bringing in. And we've got a kind of glut of midfielders now. I don't know. Does that point to the fact that maybe we're going to lose a couple? Is there a couple going to be going out the door, maybe? I don't know. It remains to be seen in the next few weeks.
I could see the boy Docherty going out loan, mate. I could see him going out on loan,
I can understand that. I mean, Graham Dorrans is still injured, isn't he? I don't know how long he's out for. I think I read something the other day. Rossiter's 4 weeks, maybe another 4 weeks before he's fit again for the wee injury that he's picked up. And I think that's a real shame, that, because I think there's a real player there in that boy Rossiter. I was kind of looking forward to seeing him working with Steven Gerrard this season, and see what Gerrard could get out of him, because there is talent there in that boy. But I don't know, he just seems to be made of glass, doesn't he, unfortunately? And I think
he's a bit unlucky as well. I think the trouble is, Rudy, I think he's one of the boys that will have to train the way he plays, mate.
Aye. Yeah. So you get the impression he's kind of boy, he gives it 100% all the time,
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see probably, the sign. I still think we're going to bring in about another 3, maybe 4 signings by the time the transfer window closes. I'd like to see another centre back coming in. I mean, that's Alves gone in, isn't it? Which is not a bad thing, really. But disappointing, that we didn't get out what we were expecting. I think Big Ulster was the same. Marcel Tay, I was really excited when he came in. I thought we were getting a real leader on the park. Didn't really turn out that way. So that's okay. He's off now. That's it.
Pretty disappointment, mate, for his value for money, wasn't he, really, when you think about it?
Big wage, wasn't he? Yeah.
Big wage, always injured. And when he did play, a couple of decent free kicks, the odd decent game, but out of the piece, very, very poor, mate.
No, for the money we were paying him, Ox. We certainly didn't get out what we were expecting or what we should have done for the money, the kind of wages he was on. But then the positives is now it frees up a big wage now, doesn't it? So the board hopefully will say to Steven Gerrard, right, what's next, So it's all positive, really, but I'd like to see another big centre-back coming in. I know we've got young guys there, Fox is always what Fox shouts out for the young guys, and he's right, Aidan Molson deserves to be in round about the first-team squad. The whole problem last season for me, a lot of the games, was the fact when you looked at the bench, there was nothing on the bench for me last season.
No, well, I'll tell you what was a bigger worry for me. Every time I seen the team getting announced and that guy Martin was playing, I couldn't get to the bench because I was still in shock that he got a game every week.
But that showed you, I think, kind of where we were, really, with injuries and suspensions and stuff like that, Thank God they didn't make the mistake of taking Martin on full time, though, you know what I mean? But pressed with the 2 boys that's come in, Goldson and Katic, for what I've seen of them, and certainly, there'll be stiffer tests to come the next few weeks. So it's all looking good, I'm looking forward to seeing the 2 new players. Don't know if they'll get into the team right away or no. Remains to be seen, but I'm looking forward to seeing them. So it's all positive now, isn't it? Apart from the off-the-field stuff that we discussed last night,
Sorry.
When you go.
I was just going to ask Rudy if he saw the story about that Jake Cooper with a £3 million bid in, apparently.
Is that the boy from Millwall, Bridge? Aye, yeah. But I don't know a hell of a lot about him, I have to be honest, Again, I'll have a look at him, obviously, I'm sure we all will. But, if they're willing to bid $3 million for him, they must rate him. And it looks, if that's the case, Bridge, it looks like the board are certainly backing Steven Gerrard, aren't they? I mean, they're obviously going out there spending a bit of money. They brought in all his backroom staff that he wanted. They maybe not get every player that Steven Gerrard wants, but it looks like they're making a hell of an attempt to get in some players that he really does want,
my belief is if you have a really good, strong defence, there's a springboard for it. If you're a goalkeeper and 3 at the back or 4 at the back that are really, really strong and good, then if you don't lose goals, or the less goals you lose, obviously, the better it is,
Well, look at the stats for last season, Bridge. We scored more goals than anybody else in the league. And I think we let in more goals than almost anybody else in the league. You know what I mean? You're never going to win anything, if you're losing that amount of goals. I mean, defence last season...
Atrocious, mate. Atrocious.
Shambles.
Fox, what's happening? What is this we've started now? What's this I see in the lobby?
The WhatsApp thing. I'll leave that to my technical colleague. He does everything like that. I couldn't tell you what a WhatsApp is, mate.
Ulster.
For your phone. It's for your phone.
Oh, Ulster. This thing's just exploding, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going. It's good though. It's good to see. We always think we're talking crap. Maybe people don't think we are. Maybe people say that they're enjoying it.
I know I'm included in some group somewhere along the line, and I don't know if I actually talked to them.
I was looking at YouTube the other day. I meant to mention this last night. I just had a look at Rangers Radio on YouTube. Have you seen some of the viewing figures for YouTube?
Yes, I have, mate. We have seen them. We've seen them. It's frightening, isn't it?
20 odd thousand.
I know, mate. I know. That was the night you weren't on.
Get it up, you. Sorry about that.
That's all right, mate. I deserved it.
The only thing, the point. Remember the point we're talking about there, obviously about marquee signings. You know, sometimes the only thing that would worry me. I don't think we'll do it under Steven Gerrard, but sometimes you can make a marquee signing just for the sake of it to get that name in. I think we've seen that happen. If you look at Nico Cranchard, Joey Barton,
Alves himself, you know,
they would be the three probably. I would say in the last sort of 5 years, probably the three biggest names that we've brought into the club. And you could make a case that they're for all three of maybe being one of the worst, to be honest, that's come through the door. So sometimes making a marquee signing can be good, but we shouldn't do one just for the sake of it.
And you know, Ulster, we made excuses for all of them, truth be told. We made big excuses for Nico Cranchard. He's still come back to injury, blah, 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 blah. We know he's got great quality and smashing player. And sometimes when you saw him in the park, he made some wonderful moves, great passes, scored a couple of goals. Barton, well, what can you say about Barton? Completely went missing and lost everything, all credibility in the Rangers.
As far as Barton's concerned, though, did you not expect him to come up here and just stroll it? Because that's
absolutely. And tell everybody here, I'm here. This is my park.
But I'll say it again, Rudy. When your legs go, I've just had Old School Blues just sent me a message, mate, and see the figures you're looking at on YouTube, mate. Periscope, Twitter, and Facebook are outstripping them.
That's that right?
It's frightening, mate. Frightening.
As I said, I've not paid attention to any of that stuff until the other night.
So numerically speaking, we're very popular. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. But bizarrely.
Well, one of the shows there is it's got up to 24,000 views on YouTube alone.
That's fabulous.
Well, to be fair, there's only been 200 Rangers supporters listening to it.
Well, that comment was made on Facebook.
I hope the boy that were put the bid in for, Jake Cooper, I hope he manages to come up, because he'll add an additional piece of strength to our growing squad and growing team. It looks like a very strong and young team. I think he's only 24, the boy. 23, 24. Loyal might be able to tell us better. But it's very young. We're a very young team now. If Alves is gone, my goodness, that's a lot away. Cranchard gone, a lot away. You know, so there's a lot of people gone that are, shall we say, old, in their 30s. Kenny Miller gone. Wow, what a difference, eh? What a difference in age.
It's great to watch young, hungry players, Bridge, you know, young guys that really want to make their way in football, you know, and they want to make a name for themselves. That's the kind of players we want coming in now, you know, if we can buy them, all the better, you know, because the possibility is, if they are successful with Rangers, the possibility is you could sell them on in the future, you know, and make a fair profit on them. And somebody mentioned to me the day, actually, because I was on my usual thing, I was talking to my mates, pal, and we were talking about Josh Windass again, and somebody made a point to me that he made a point to me that we only paid about 70,000 for Josh Windass. I don't think that's right, but according to him,
it was a cross border. Remember, there was a big row at the time, mate. I remember they were going nuts. That's about right.
It was just development money. It was just development money for him.
Aye, that's what he said to me. So he reckoned if we could get about 3 million for Josh Windass, he reckoned that would be a great deal, you know. He was at the game the other night and wasn't too impressed with Windass the other night either. You know,
I think most of it.
Allegedly, he's got we don't know 100%, but it's meant to have a £3 million trigger in his contract. But people can speak to him.
Right. Okay.
That's a lot of rubbish.
Allegedly.
What do you mean, not Fox? What do you mean?
There's no release clause, I don't think, in Josh Windass's contract, mate.
Well, I think I said last night that his father has come out and said there is a £3 million contract release clause, and he's supposed to have agreed with his father on his Twitter account last week.
Aye, that's correct.
So I don't know how true it is. We're never going to know.
But apparently when he's contract...
Remember the internet, Bridget, some of the
course,
men, some of the women on the, some of the women on the woman.
Oh.
I think...
carry on, Fox, and then Rudy.
No, I'm just saying that the way we want to go forward is making money off of players that are no longer good enough for us. That's a thing that's been happening for years with Rangers over the last 6-7 years, mate, is we tend to let people that don't play that well for us go for nothing. We need to get to the stage where people like, for instance, Josh Windass, if he's no good enough for our first team pool, our first team squad, mate, we should be selling them at a profit and not just letting them fade into obscurity and then we get nothing for them. That's when we'll know when we're back on the road again and up and running well, using the system well, is getting money for people that we no longer want. Do you agree with that?
That's a good point you make, Fox. I think for far too long now we've let players go for next to nothing or for nothing at all. You know, quite a lot of times as well. You know, we've got to the point where you're basically just you're losing in every single player. I mean, you can't do that. You know, certainly. You know, when you're looking to build a squad for a season, you can't just let a whole load of players go for next to nothing. You know, you've got to bring something in, and if you can get a profit on them, all the better. So
we've made big mistakes, mate. Halliday, Forrester, really, with the greatest of respect to Mark Warburton, what was he thinking about? 4-year contracts, mate. They couldn't cut it in what we were playing in.
They should be given 1-year contracts and rolling. So they can move on.
I mean, they were struggling in the Championship come the end of the Championship, in all honesty, you know, and then when we got into the Scottish Premier, it didn't improve any for me, you know, and some of the players that were there, you know, I mean, we talked about it on here, you know, some of the players that were there would under normal circumstances, would never have got into a Rangers jersey. You know, and as you say, for Mark Warburton to hand out 4-year contracts to some of these guys, it was just...
Some of the guys are still there. Some of them are still there, pal.
Yeah, you're right.
Is that no part of the gradual process is getting back to the top? You know.
Good comment, Fox, but I don't think there was any excuse in giving them 4-year contracts, mate. Sign them, 2-year contract, maybe extend it by a year, but no 4-year contracts, mate. They never showed anything that told you they were going to be top stars. All right, people will talk about that semi-final at Hampden. But, I mean, come on, think about it the weeks before and the weeks after that one performance against Dundee.
No, I know, but at the time and the position we were in, that was the only way we could get people to sign for us.
But we gave them 4-year extensions, Fox, when they were with the club. I
think that was Warburton just getting his end back, mate. You know.
I have to be honest and say, in all probability, because we got promoted, and I dare say we had to say, well, last year you were playing the Championship, so we need to give you a new contract to reflect playing in the Premiership. I dare say there was something in that. However, I think we've all agreed a lot of the players just on the Premiership quality, and unfortunately we're paying for it now. Some of them, you know. Ideally, that's when we should have just moved them on. Okay, we're finishing the Championship. Your Championship players, bye. We'll go and get other players. Instead of that, you're going to pay them the money, and that's what you're paying. Andy Halliday, don't get me wrong, I think Andy Halliday's has been a smashing player for us and scored a fabulous, certainly one of the most exciting goals I've seen. Andy Halliday scored against the Hibs at Hampden. Unfortunately, we got beat. But, you know, just incredible stuff. He's just been good for us. If you think about that team when we played against Celtic, we were a Championship team and we put them out the cup. And that from that day, they changed their whole philosophy, sacked their manager, brought in the tranny man, and away they went. We didn't at the end. We re-signed a lot of the players. I think that's put it in context.
But their team's no dramatic.
I'm saying they spent it in the manager level. That's what I'm meaning. Mm-hmm. They brought a manager in to do the business. So good luck.
All right. I get your point, Fox. It was difficult for us to get players. It's not so much the signing of the players. It was the length of the extensions we gave them.
Aye, fair comment. And just on Bridgeman's point there, if you go back to the Ronnie Delia days and things like that. The amount of players that they went through, they brought in loads of players.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
And nobody ever talks about that. They spent fortunes, mate, to get it down to the kind of squad that they've got just now. And I think the same thing will happen with us under Steven Gerrard. This is his first venture into the transfer market. What he's trying to do is put a promising squad together, and it's a big outlay for us this year. But next year, you're hoping to bring in one or two quality players, or 3 or 4 quality players to improve the squad even greater. Cut the waste again, and that's the way it's going to go on until we successfully lift the title for me.
Well, we'll see where it takes us, mate. I think it's a lot of positivity, a lot of good signings. I just think it's tweaking and improvement. Rudy, you made a point about goals conceded, goals scored. Yeah?
Yeah.
We scored the same number of goals this year, and our defence becomes reasonable for poor. Where does it take us?
Well, I said I think it was the other night when I was talking about that, the ratio of goals scored to goals lost. When you consider the amount of points we dropped, something like 24, I think it was, at Ibrox. That for a start's got to stop. That can't continue this season. I mean, that was just abominable, the amount of points we dropped at Ibrox. The Rangers team should drop that amount of points at home. It just shouldn't happen. So if we can get a fairly solid defence who can cut out, even, I don't know, let's just say, for talking's sake, half of the amount of goals that we lost last season, I would be willing, I'd be thinking that we'd finish miles ahead of Aberdeen. We should have done last season. We should have done. Had we not dropped all the points and get beat so often at Ibrox last season, we would have had, I mean, the Tims only finished 9 points ahead of Aberdeen last season. People seem to forget this. People are under the impression they finished miles ahead. They didn't. They finished 9 points ahead of Aberdeen, Hawks. Do you know what I mean? We could make that ground up, no problem, if we can cut out the stupid amount of goals that we lost last season.
Really, did you see it was 24 points we lost at Ibrox?
I think it was 24, Bridge.
Yeah, so if you can reduce that 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your 12 points, and we ended up 12 points behind the Tims.
Yeah.
So there you are. There's 12 points right away. If you can just reduce the points that we lost at Ibrox by 50%. Obviously, we want to lose. We don't want to lose any more out away. So we want to improve our away form as well. But if you could reduce that, just what we're talking about, that's all. So 50% at home and 50% away, you're a different team. Different team entirely.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be much more successful. You're going to be closer to the top of the league. I mean, the amount of goals, the defence, we just said that. The defence was an absolute shambles last year. The amount of goals they lost was just an utter disgrace for the Rangers.
That guy Martin, mate, was one of the worst I've ever seen.
Aye.
Honestly, with the greatest respect to the guy, he tried hard, but there was nothing there. No pace.
No.
Couldn't jump. Very poor in the air. Even with the ball coming out the sky, he was always giving fouls away. I remember talking to Fox about that. Oh.
I mean, I think the first 5 games he gave away 3 penalties or something like that, Something like that, but he was an absolute disaster every time he walked onto the park, that boy. And I think Mark Allen's done a fairly good job, in all honesty, don't know why he thought that was a good signing, or the possibility is maybe it was something that just had to happen at the time because it was all he could get. I don't know. He came in the January last season, at the same time Murphy and that came in. So maybe it was just one of these things. Maybe they couldn't really get anybody else. But see, rather than play him, I would rather Aidan Wilson come in and play. To be honest with you,
but really,
I would rather have Woodrow Wilson played. Anyway, I need to change the subject slightly. Go to the old Ibrox level. Let's get some good news for us on the youth today.
Yeah, well, it was our first game for our new reformed reserve team. They played one of their pre-season matches today. They beat Partick Thistle 6-1 at the Hummel Training Centre. Our opening team was Hogarth, McClelland, Devaney, Williams, Patterson, Kennedy, Miller, McKechnie, Baldy, McKee and Ruth. That was a team up front. So our first goal was scored by young Chris McKee. We brought him in at the beginning of the season, mate. He's a Northern Irish Youth International. It was lovely build-up by Ben Williamson, playing in Nathan Patterson, who you liked at the end of last season, Ox, when you seen him playing in the Glasgow Cup final, who took Chris McKee with a fine pass, and then young McKee finished very well. So it was 1-0 at half-time to the young Gers. Because it was a reserve match as well, and it was a pre-season match, we made a number of changes at half-time, changed the team run near enough. Just after half-time, young Dapple Mabuda scored from distance to give us a 2-0 lead. Just after that, we made it 3-0. Josh McPake scored after a nice pass from James Maxwell. Another two players who played pretty well in the Glasgow Youth Cup final, Old Firm match at the end of last season. Where are we here? We get a penalty. Dapple Mabuda was fouled in the box yet again. Kai Kennedy stepped up, but unfortunately missed the penalty. Our fourth goal was young Nathan Patterson, scored after some great work and trickery from James McPake to set up young Nathan Patterson. Just after that, Partick Thistle pulled one back. After that, we went 5-1 up. Dapple Mabuda got his second goal of the afternoon from another great assist by James McPake. The final goal scorer was young Kieran McKechnie, who made it 6-1 after some nice play down the left-hand side by young Kai Kennedy. Again, another promising player that was picked up from the Glasgow Youth Cup final, did very well on that as well. So we kind of hammered Partick Thistle on that one, 6-1. And can I just promise you, lads, I wasn't in nets for Thistle.
That just proves a point that Thistle have struggled for a goalie for years, Bridger.
Thank you. Some positivity at last, mate.
Some of these boys are kicking on, and we've got McCrory, who's in the first team squad, and we'll see what boys actually kick on and get in there now. But if we get one within the next year who's really pushing like McCrory, Murray Park's becoming a success, Ibrox. You're not going to get one every year or two every year. You've got to be realistic. If you can get one and then two who become mainstays of your first team, it's becoming a success.
Yep, and if it happens that way, and we do get the 2-3 players every other couple of years, mate, the Hummel Training Centre, mate, it pays for itself, mate, and that's what it was built for. Unfortunately, it's not always worked out that way in recent years, but now that it's been run, and we've got some great people in the backroom staff at the youth levels as well, they're doing a great job, and may long it continue, mate, because we are slowly but surely starting to bear fruit from the Hummel Training Centre. So,
Ibrox.
Yes, mate.
The boy Glenn Middleton looks like a cracker, doesn't he?
I did say that, didn't I, mate? He's just a wee pocket dynamo, isn't he? He's got a pace, he's stocky as anything, he's got a bit of power about him, he's taking players on, getting to the byline. I thought he had a fantastic, what was it, sort of 40 minutes or 30 minutes or something he came on. He had in the park the other night. You get. Well, I think I say he get 2 assists or 1.5 assists, but I'm going to give him 2 assists because the wee guy's just a pocket dynamo, mate. He was written at some of their players, mate. Who, let's be honest, I know you've got to take Barry at face value for what they are and where they play their football, but they're all still a lot of seniority players compared to young Middleton. You know what I mean? He's still young. He's still got a long way to go in the games. I said the other night, but promising, mate. He's definitely got everything in his locker to be a great player for us, mate.
And if he's the next one, it's sort of coattails and pushing Murphy, and it's improvement, and that boy comes into the team, they're put his elbow, holster it.
Yep, well, this is what we want to see. I think if you listen back to past shows a few years ago, this, the whole Murray Park, as it was called at the time, Hummel Training Centre now, we were talking about, is that still worth having? Because it wasn't bringing through anyone. Whether these last couple of years, the people who's working at youth level have done great work, especially when Ibrox is coming on all the time, and I want to have a wee look as well when they're on the site. They're winning trophies, they're beating the best sides in Europe. They've done that last season. They were absolutely fantastic. The results were just brilliant against the biggest sides you can come up against, really, at their age level, and winning. It's absolutely fantastic. If you get the likes of Glenn Middleton there coming through, it's a big bonus for us. I know we don't want to lose these players, of course we don't, because they're only young, they're only new, but if they're good enough to get big bids, in a few years' time, then that'll be better for us, obviously, to reinvest in the squad. And I think as Stephen Gerrard had mentioned, Zach Rudden, he had said he had scored a goal at Ibrox, and in his opinion, that it's only one of many. So I think the likes of Stephen is obviously really, really happy and excited about some of the young players that we have there. So it bodes well for the future.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with also saying, particularly the last part there. It all bodes well for the future, for sure. I think it's everything about Rangers is exciting. Every single thing is exciting, and certainly for an old buddy like me, I'm really, really happy with everything that's going on. I just think we've got a lot to do still, both on and off the field, and we really need to concentrate on these things. Get that other sign and that other centre half in for me, and that's me, get half the team. I'm happy. A goalkeeper and 3 centre halves, can't ask for more than that. That young boy Flanagan and magic. There's half your team all set up. Let it go and get it. Go and get it. Or as Mr. Gerrard would say, come on Rangers, let's go. Let's go.
There's a lot of youth folks who seem to be in that. Their careers could go somewhere, and it could go 2 ways, isn't it? Because you don't know if they're going to just move to that next level. And this is a hard thing with your whole development team. And what's the guy's in charge here? I forgot his name, with the boy.
Mulholland.
Craig Mulholland, to come in there. They've got to decide whether to see Steig, do we free him, do we put him out on loan. It's really tricky, because somebody that you think's, he's very good, the guy that you don't rate can go buy him in 6 months' time, and it's because it's not an exact science. Very difficult.
There's a big step up for playing against people your own age and moving into the professional game, mate. A lot of young boys don't hack the move upstairs. But the other thing we've got at Rangers is the more successful we are at the Hummel training ground, other clubs are going to come in and steal them, like the way they did with Billy Gilmore. So we need to get boys that want to play for the club into our sides, and no just people that will bail out every time the big money comes knocking,
That's a hard bit, Ibrox, eh?
It is, mate. The football being the way it is just now, they look to move on the first chance that they get as soon as... Not everybody, but you get your fair few of them nowadays who just see the pound signs and want to jump ship. But I'm not saying every player's like that nowadays, but again, I think we said that last season as well, that football is a short game now, especially if you unfortunately pick up a bad injury and it can kind of delay your career, or maybe your career doesn't kick on as much as you want it to be, and you want to get some money behind you. You've got to kind of look at that bit as well. But as Fox says, there is a lot of players now, especially in our youth development system, who want to be here, and the ideal two of that are the two McCrory brothers, mate. The chance to go where the money and all that was, the chance to go to your Man United, your Liverpool, your Man Cities and everything else, but they had brains about them, and they says no, at Rangers is a place we can develop and do well and make a name for ourselves at Rangers in the future. So there's a lot of players on the youth development side who want to do that now, so fair play to them as well.
Is it convincing the parents more than convincing the young boys now, do you think?
For me, folks, it depends on all of a sudden the boys might be 15, 16, you can get the parents. 18, 19, 20, mate. Does it maybe matter sometimes for what some of the parents say, does it?
That's fair comment.
I don't know if Ibrox, you want to come in with that, and then we'll take that to Bridge.
It's a hard one for me, that one, mate, because a lot of nowadays, and especially some of the younger players, their fathers or their uncles seem to be their what's the word I'm looking for? The agents.
Agents.
They're agents nowadays, so it can be a kind of a difficult one to look at that one. But
I don't see that. I see most of them have got any promise of get agents, you know, and promising them the earth, because I think it was Kevin Thompson on the show gave us his thoughts on agents one night. Do you remember that?
I do indeed.
You know, it's difficult, isn't it? Because, I mean, the boy Gilmore that went to Chelsea, I mean, if he's offering life-changing money for maybe him and potentially his family as well, it's a difficult situation to refuse it.
He's just signed the professional.
It's first time professional, full time, aye.
And that probability is that he's set up for life, and his family. He'll be set up for life. I really believe that. So, what he's talking about is absolutely right. There's a certain side of it is money oriented, because football is money oriented, and the agents, some of the parents are front face on agents, whereas their kids are sometimes persuaded to join a football agency, you know, some sort of agency that will look after them, scouting agency of some description, for the first few years of their good life in football. But the parents kind of leave that alone. They still want to be representing them, particularly at the side of the pitch, and they get there and fight with everybody.
Can I just change the subject slightly with the two new signings we brought in the day now? Whether it's true or not, I've not heard it, but Jerry Collins, I would take it that would be the ex-Hamilton. Was it Hamilton he played there? I think he did. Did he manage him? I'm not sure if he managed him. He's on the work permit board, obviously, for the new two players. And allegedly on the radio, I've not heard it, so if anybody's heard it, they could let us know. I've just read it. He said that the Rangers manager, who had to speak about bringing these new two players in, was very, very impressive. I don't know if you read the story, Fox, and then Ulster.
I just read it. I never heard it, mate. I don't know if Ulster has heard it.
No, I haven't myself. It's news to me.
Where are you reading this?
On the forums, mate. On the forums.
Okay, pal.
Yeah, he was very impressive. New stuff. Obviously spoke about the players and the qualities they would bring to the Scottish game. Knew them inside out. So every time Rudy Bear be hearing about Mr. Gerrard, he's an impressive man.
He's a class act, isn't he? I had a wee bit of reputation about the fact, you know, experience-wise, you know, he's Big Joe. Rangers are a huge club for your first job, like, you know, so there's a wee bit of reputation there. The name obviously catches the imagination, you know, what he's done in his career so far. But every time I hear him speak, I get more and more confidence, and I'm at the point now where I'm absolutely delighted he's here. I think the publicity that comes with him, you know, the interest that's been shown in Rangers over the last sort of couple of months since he was announced, has been absolutely massive, you know. You know, BT and Sky are wanting to televise Rangers games, you know, and stuff like that maybe they wouldn't have looked at before, depending who our manager was. And he's a very impressive character. He's driven. He's a winner. And, you know, you've got to have confidence in the players that he's bringing in, because he knows his stuff, you know. We can sit here bumping our gums about players, this and that, you know, formations and all the rest of it. But this guy's lived it and done it, you know. So hopefully he can take that into his managerial career, you know. He's a very impressive character for me. Love listening to him talk.
I don't know if you read that story, Brooks Loyal.
I didn't, mate, but it does not surprise me. Mr. Gerrard, it's whether he speaks, the way that new signings have been speaking about him, how complimentary they are, that he's actually phoned him and says, look, I'm really interested in you, get yourself to Ibrox, get signed in, come in for this new revolution. It's about to kick off. And even people outside of the game, they all speak so highly of Mr. Gerrard. I know there's a bit of trepidation there, as Rudy was saying, but between him, Mr. McAllister, and the backroom staff that he's got together now, it's impressing me more and more every time I hear him speak as well, mate. And as I says, mate, a revolution's about to start. Everybody better get ready for it.
Steven Gerrard, MBE, class with a capital K.
Ulster, You weren't on the train at first. You're on the train
sorry?
now. You weren't on the train at first.
No, not at the beginning. No, because I was the man that I was really looking for that experienced manager.
We waved at you as we went by on the station.
And I says, don't worry, it'll not be too long. You just come back round to the platform where I'm standing. But see, to be honest, no, I'm buying into it. I bought into it after his first interview, to be honest. I was sitting at the Ibrox bar. Everybody was, and as I say, the crowd was mixed, 50-50. Some didn't want him, some did. And then the interview at the end of it, everybody was really excited. And since then, it's took off, to be fair. And obviously, with the sort of players that we're bringing in, it's all looking well for us. So I'm fully on board. I got onto the next platform, met you. I'm now fully on the Steven Gerrard train.
You were on a few trains on Saturday, Fox, so you're definitely on the train, eh?
But I think we all need to realise this is still a big gamble with Steven Gerrard and everything else. We've not played a competitive game yet. Let's give him about 10 games under his belt before we really see what he's doing, mate. If we can get a good start to that league, and it's a tough start we've got, and if we can come through the first round of games unscathed, be over the moon.
Yeah, certainly, but that'll prove his players, that's for sure, and his choice of players. So he needs a good result on Thursday. He needs a good result. And the Bears, every Bear is going to be there. So must support them. Show the team the support.
Oh, I think there's a real positive attitude towards the team that comes through the manager, mate. I think you could feel that on Friday night, mate. Yeah. I think he was walking out and he pointed twice and the place erupted.
Yeah, they love him. They just love him. But
many false dawns we had, but in the last few years.
Absolutely.
That's why we've gave people a chance. I mean, I thought Warburton was a reasonable signing, but as you know, Fox, within about 6 months, particularly after I questioned some of his. I think he'd been fun out. In Scottish football at a low level, had been fun out because teams could set their team up to stop him and he'd no answer. And you also know that I never thought that Kitchener or Murty should have been anywhere near the Ibrox management job. That's a personal view. The Kitchener one was a gamble we took, it never worked, and Murty was brought in as a stopgap, and I can't understand it. That's only my view. It doesn't count for a lot. Rudy?
I agree with you. I kind of, as I said before, if you've got to Google a Rangers manager, he's not a Rangers manager, The trepidation thing with me at the beginning was I was a bit like Ulster. I was looking for a big name manager. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as far as world football goes, there's no many names bigger than Steven Gerrard, But managerial-wise, I was looking for a big name, and we kind of bandied a few names about, like Van Bronckhorst and guys like that. So maybe I think that's possibly what it was, because I was expecting something like that to happen. Apparently Mark Allen sat down with the board and discussed this, brought up Steven Gerrard and discussed that with him and kind of pointed them in that direction. Since then, since he's come in 2 months ago, or since he was announced 2 months ago, I've watched his interviews, saw the players that we're bringing in. He knows his stuff. He's got his backroom staff there, they've allowed him, they're backing him to the hilt, the board's backing him to the hilt. He's brought all his backroom staff in that he wanted, some really experienced, knowledgeable guys, and he seems to be getting the players that he wants, and, mostly getting the players that he seems to want. He's happy with the players, by all accounts, with the way things are looking. So for me, I mean, in the coming weeks, I mean, he couldn't have had a harder start to the league season, really, could he? Away to Aberdeen, away to the Tims and all that kind of stuff, in the first 4 games of the season. I think we've got one home game out of 4, the first 4. So they've really laid it on thick with him, what I mean, these first 4 games of the season.
Well, thanks for that, Rudy. Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. Bridgeman?
Oh, can I just say, a smashing night again. Great discussions tonight. And the news about the 2 guys signing, fabulous. So to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers. Just keep it going because we need it.
Yep, welcome to Rangers, Ima Sadiki and Lasagna Koulibaly. I hope your careers are great at the club. Can I thank Bridgeman, Fox, Ibrox Loyal, Rudy Bear, Big Ulster, And my caller, who we didn't catch his name this evening, thanks for taking the time to join the show. This has been Rangers Radio. We plan to be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, but you never know. World events might we're on a wee bit later. Take it away, Fox.
Sure, I was dreaming of old Ibrox, of her slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. When my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear, of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Alistair Toyce came from East Belfast, and old Belfast became then old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roll, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster men who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Manderton, Sam English, Norrie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey McDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Ali McCoyce came from East Belfast, and then old Belfast became old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.